Mic check. 1, 2. All right, I hear echo from your end.
You do?
Uh, hello.
Hello?
Well, I was. Yeah, it's not as pronounced. It's kind of there, but
You want me to drop out and try to come
it's
back?
no. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't even hear it now. I think that was just because we got everything started. What's up, y'all? Who's all in the building? Let's see who's all here. Who is all here? Yes, I'll close it. This thing is tripping.
Boy, I tell you,
Update this.
gotta start shaking these
Chaos.
monkeys off.
The monkey. You a monkey?
No, I'm not. That's the flying monkey that won't leave me be.
You got a bunch of flying. You got a bunch of irritants. People being, you know, I guess that's just what it is. You got people that are they have no life, so they have to figure
They
out how
have
to
no life or
insert.
they mistake this fake online crap as having a life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That too. They don't have a life, but their online life is everything. What's up, Chaos? What's up, Sarah Lewis? Yeah, man. People are weird. I'll just say that. People are weird. And we all know that though, right?
I
Just
tell you
weirdos.
what I
Just
know. People
weirdos.
need to stop trying to. People need to leave me be. I'm. I don't know you.
Hmm.
If I don't know you, please stop trying to contact me. Please.
Damn shame. Damn shame. For real.
It gets kind of like pathetic when people start begging. Can you please unblock me? Can you please do this? Can you please do nigga get out of here? What's wrong with you?
Damn.
If you're blocked, it's because you are considered what?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're blocked,
Yeah, we don't
okay.
unblock. If you're blocked for a reason. We don't unblock.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people yeah, once they show you, you better believe them. You'd be the fool to not take heed.
It's cool. They'll get over it. It just it trips me out because what I realize is that there are a lot of people that are so used to using me for access.
Yeah.
And when they're busy trying to build themselves up, they're busy trying to, get that access.
How many times has that happened?
Oh
Like
Jesus, too
for real?
many. Too many. Too many. I can't even count. Throughout all these years, I can't even count. Um and you know, I have to take responsibility to a certain extent for how many people I allowed to latch on to me. Yet, my reason for doing it is my reason for doing it. Like I needed to know what was going on. I needed to know what the harm. How do you how these this situation when you're being stalked and trolled and harassed?
Hmm.
No one wants to believe that this is happening to you. No one wants to believe it. You try to explain it, people don't get it.
Yeah.
You tell them, they still don't get it.
It's unfathomable. Like people almost like some, like, oh no, you're not, that's not happening to you.
People really don't want to believe that this stuff happens in real life. They treat it like it's just something that they see in a Netflix documentary. They don't want to sit here and act like it's true, but it is true. It's real. There are people who use the internet to stalk other people for gainful employment.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of people, they don't see it as realistic because they would never do it themselves. But I don't think people really understand. Like, you got to look at the true nature of these online weirdos. These are literally people that really don't have anything in life.
No hobbies, no aspirations, no dreams, no vision,
No
nothing.
talent.
No loved ones. Yeah, no talent for sure.
So it's like, when you're for some people, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
They get to set their own hours.
Mm-hmm.
They get to sit around and gossip all day. They can hide their appearance if they're not happy with the way they look. Like, this is kind of like a dream job for
Mm-hmm.
weirdos and scumbags. Like, look at that one guy. Nobody knew that he was, and a lot of them are handicapped and disabled too. Got some kind of, no, seriously, a lot of them got some kind of real issue.
Mm-mm-mm.
Didn't nobody know that that boy was in a wheelchair?
How did they even find that out?
He had a fake girlfriend online. It was the bean fiends. No, they went and got his information and they found the police report. He was over there in Pottstown. Pottstown isn't big. We used to go to Pot. That's where we had camp meeting for my religion, for my church. Like the 7 Day Adventist version of convocation that the Kojic did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they found it. Boom. Next thing you know, old boy in a wheelchair. And then a lot of them are sickly, got all kinds of stuff going on with them, and
They're
you know
miserable.
what a lot of them.
That's pretty much what you're
But you
saying.
know, but you know what a lot of them are too. That a lot of people aren't taking into consideration. Mentally ill, like unwell and not
Well,
stable.
yeah, that part. That part.
Like, just not stable at all. Like, these are people that probably can't hold down jobs in real life because dealing with people, like dealing with real people, would be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect job for, and these are people that, like, for the most part, been discarded. Like, you got some of them who this isn't their story, but the ones who get involved in that stuff, I'm just like, I can only imagine what a turn on it is for some of them to be like, oh, she was famous. Oh my God. I get to, and then you have the people who turn stalking a celebrity into, a clout chase into a career. Look at what Trashy K did with Cardi B.
Yeah.
And it's sad because a
Yeah.
lot of these weirdos online are like using that like it's some kind of business model. And I guess that's why
Right.
this lawsuit and where it's going and what's turning out to be like a mother lode, a mother lode for a fraud case. This isn't good. This isn't good for a lot of these ones online. It's just not, it's not good. Um, because it's kind of killing their hopes and dreams. And not only that, you got to think about the ones who will take this as a challenge and say, I bet you I can do it better than her. You know, so but yeah, what's going on? Salute to everybody in the building.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. What's up, Cat? I see Chaos, Brandon in the building. Appreciate y'all for coming up and or just coming through. I just said let me get on here real brief and a couple of things. That's all. I didn't really have a whole lot really to kind of just oh yeah I'm gonna run down on this. No. I just said let me just tap in or whatever before you do your weekend wrap up because it seems like there's a whole lot going on with
Lot
I'm
going
seeing a
on.
whole lot going on with this Jay-Z and the Busby
What's
situation.
going on?
And I think they're doing oh well we could get into it a little bit. I think they're doing this because he got the Roots picnic this weekend and they trying to fuck that up. And it is what it is. Oh man, no, it's a whole lot. Hold on. I was first off. Let me say this. I'll get into that. I'll get into that. Let me get into what I wanted to get into first,
Sure.
and then I'll get into all that stuff that's going on.
Hey, do your thing. I'm just here for the, you know, I'm the wingman. Well, woman.
And I appreciate your wing womanness. Um, I ain't gonna lie. I'm sitting there. I was listening to. Well, okay. I was kicking with a bunch of damn youngsters all week, and my
Hmm.
nephews. They all they play is YN music. That's what I call it. Why? Like I'm like, and I get it because I mean, beats is cool, but it's kind of it's literally like white microwavable music. Um, I knew who G Herbo was, but like just all this stuff, like I'm like, I mean, I know he's not whacking it like that. I'm just like, but it's all music. I'm like, if a beat is dope or a hook, okay, cool. Um, so I'm just vibing to whatever they listen to. They ain't finna they ain't the only thing they listening to. I could play some Conway the Machine, and they was like, okay, they rocking with that. But other than that, um, like they didn't listen, they didn't consume music like I consume music. I'll say it like that when I was like their age. And the music is different. Everything changes. We know that.
What you were
So
looking for out of music back then isn't even available for them now.
of course not, because yeah, look, I can remember, and this is how far back I go. I could tell you all the tapes I had when I first started driving, mind you, this is LA, the late 90s, and punk ass LAPD. And I ain't saying all of them because I had some that were real cool, but punk racist LAPD, right? Pulling me over. And of course, they're looking for what in the car? You already know. And then they
DUIGS's,
get right.
GUNS.
They get mad because the only thing I had in the car were cassette tapes of fucking hip hop, and I could tell you what I had in my car, and they probably were looking at this shit and probably taking notes. Um, I had Razzcastle's Soul on Ice album. I had uh, uh, Legal Drug Money by the Lost Boys. I had maybe the Cellar Dwellers album. I had like that era hip hop. Sadat X, Wild Cowboys,
Hmm.
uh, Beast Rhymes in Life by Tribe Called Quest. I had
Yep.
um, Roots. Philadelphia Half Life. I
Philadelphia
had that
Life
in there
would have
because
been the album at
of
that
course
time.
Yep, I had that Fuji's, and that was right when I first started rocking when the Fuji's came out, and the Far Side's second album, Lab Cabin, California. But I had these tapes. Police looking through. That's all. That's all I was taking. They probably were taking notes. Oh, these Negroes is listening to woo woo woo, and a lot of like pretty much yeah, there we go. G's Bend. Yep. That album. I told you I did a revisit for that album, and I was like, at the time it was cool, but then I'm listening to it now. It really didn't have staying power like that. But anyway, it still was a still was a dope album for the time. But now I'm just saying I'm rolling with them. I'm listening to like they playing that. The standout was Drake, right? And we didn't play a whole lot of Drake. It was just like okay, I was like, okay, I do remember that one joint that Drake did where he sampled Minnie Riperton. Dope. That was dope. Make them pay, I believe. All right. I think that's the new one. And then another one, I couldn't remember the name of it, but the I couldn't remember the name of it at first. And I was like, they kept playing this joint. They're like, reach me, baby. Call my phone and say you need me, baby. Like it's Drake, and it's funny as hell when I'm like, okay, it's kind of catchy. Janice, called Janice. It's just like okay, Drake. I ain't gonna lie, Drake got a couple of little bangers on this album. Like it ain't all like. I think for the most part, if I hear a Drake
After sitting
album,
for 2 years, if he didn't have a couple, it would be ridiculous. He's had nothing but time on his hands. He
yeah,
better come with something.
no, you're right. You're right. How come this isn't working? Oh, maybe because my Bluetooth isn't connected. Okay, there we go. Um, yeah,
Until
and
the
and
way, boy,
I've
your
only
shit
I've
better not be whack. No, no, no,
no no
no.
no. I've only listened to like if I listen to a Drake album, it's probably only like okay, why you can't connect? It's probably only a couple of joints on there that I'm really vibing with anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a couple, but it seems as if he has multiple number ones right now. Okay, why are we not connecting? What part of the game? I'm over here trying to connect something because I get busy and the keyboard I can't do without the keyboard. But oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to reach me, baby. Call my phone if you need me. So he
Well,
got one with
honey,
that one. I ain't gonna front. He ain't
honey.
got one with that one.
But okay, but how is it? I haven't even heard it yet. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, you used to call me on my cell phone.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
used
It's
to
it's
love me when you
yeah.
need
That's
my
one of them
love.
joints.
Call
Hotline
me on
Bling.
my cell phone. Yeah, you know what I hotline bling. Yeah, it sounds like it's another one of those.
So Brandon just said Janice's his 14th number one hit surpassing Michael Jackson. Yeah, that there it is right there.
That's
That's what
what
I
they
wanted to talk
say.
about. That's what they're saying. And okay, why this thing ain't connecting? I'm sorry, y'all. This just gets on my nerves. Yo, trying to do this. Um, so yeah, man, like Drake surpassed Mike
So they say.
of all people. So they saying, right? And we could talk about that because I already know whatever this thing ain't connecting. This thing is acting retarded, as they said on Kevin
I'm
Hart's
not trusting none of these
thing.
stats, and I
Okay,
don't know
there.
why
Nope, nope.
anybody else is.
Cancel. No one asked to
If they can't show the
pair with my
verifiable
TV.
data proving all of this, if it's just people write it down and say something to something, like I'm sick and tired of sitting here looking at people talking about, oh yeah, no, the number one record, the number one single. That's all people have to say. They don't even go back and check. Like, do we got sound scan to prove any of this? Like, what are the numbers?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's no to me there's really no proof, but even helping to do a bunch of things with um artists, I'm starting to understand how this whole game works. And yeah, okay, yeah, Janice, he they said Drake debuts number one on the Billboard Hot 100 with Janice, and 42 songs, He's a record breaking 42 songs on a Hot 100 simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Drake surpassing Michael Jackson's total of number one hits. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Let me see what Billboard has to say though.
Like I'm just
Um,
like people want to beat
yeah,
Mike so bad. Everybody wants to beat Mike so bad.
yeah. He has "Wait for You," Future featuring Drake and Tim's, "Work" featuring Rihanna. Well, that's Drake featuring or Rihanna featuring Drake. "One Dance," "God's Plan."
So that's not even his
Anyway,
record.
well, no, I'm just, this is what's going on. They're just talking about the 14 number one hits that he has had, and all the ones that have been on the chart. That's what I'm looking at right now. So
So
he's
that's why
he's
they're
he's
saying
got
he beat.
14.
He's got 14 hit records.
Yeah, yeah. He got
But
Janice.
wait
This
a
is the
minute.
first week.
I thought Mariah Carey. I don't know. Well, I guess they're
I don't
not
I don't
number
know.
one.
I don't know. But I mean, so that Janice joint, they pushing it. I ain't gonna front. And if I could remember it, and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But he got a whole bunch of number ones, and that's he got some number fives and sixes and fours and stuff like that as well. Ran to Atlanta is number two. What I Miss is number two. Okay, so he's you know Frank is doing his thing. Now I want y'all to understand though that
Can we be clear on
this
something? Can I say something before you say
sh-
something?
sh- sure,
People also have to take into consideration what's out there in the marketplace competing with it as well. Once upon a time, there used to be heavy competition on the charts. Now it's just a bunch of crap that gets thrown out there. And if a competent project comes through, it's definitely going to sound, you know what I mean, better than a lot of the shit that's out there. So it's like,
yeah,
who's he really competing against on the charts?
right. I got you. I got you. That's the thing, and that's why I say I was basically gonna say the game is rigged, if you ask me, because there's really nothing out there. There's really no real competition. I don't hear
Isn't it
anybody
kind of
that
easy to go number
is
one
worthy.
if you're not competing against anybody?
True.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah. The game is rigged though, and it's never like a fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's never like because there's probably a kid out there dope as hell right now, and he just don't have the push, the resources. He's not selling his soul. Speaking of, I know Little Flip just came out, and he's talking about all these number one artists, the top number one artists who pretty much the reason why they're number one, they sold their soul.
mm.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a kid out there that's dope and just ain't even getting the shine, ain't even getting the attention, or maybe he's in a particular region that is overlooked, and
Which
and
means
like
when
he,
the machine comes through, usually that person will be extra thirsty
yeah, yeah, exactly,
because it's like, when am I going to
yeah,
get that opportunity again?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, 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 it's all good. I'm just sitting here. I'm still trying to connect my dang on keyboard. This is horrible. I hate this. Um, yeah, man, and then I could talk about Little Flip too because they said something about him coming out, and it makes sense. He's talking about rappers nowadays, and it's a regional thing. Even back day 10, 15 years back when like Nip was doing this thing. Um, that is true. It was always like a regional situation, right?
Yeah.
Like it always was that. It was always a regional thing. And he said they would get the top ones in a particular region and make them the the top guy. And yeah, they just got to they and then they put these people, they put them on a pedestal. They're young. They really don't really know the game. They don't understand what they're gonna do. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like they're like the industry will grab someone young, you know, and it's just like, okay, boom, here you go. You got all this. You got all this access. We're gonna give you this. We're gonna give you this. And they are the ones who the youth look up to, and then the youth will emulate, and then you have a whole bunch of little tinies, just like Little Wayne, right? Everybody that every MC, every rapper that came out at around a particular time, and I listened to him, I'm like, oh, okay, you sound like whoop whoop whoop, or I can tell you were
Mm-hmm.
influenced by whoop whoop. And Little Wayne was like, I think the most impactful. There's so many people that
Very much
he
so.
fathered their style. Yeah, he straight fathered their style, straight up. Um, oh, is it this?
Which is wild because he had a ghostwriter at the beginning of his
Yeah,
career.
I knew he had a ghostwriter because, like, all of a sudden he started sounding like, "Yo, what part of the case?" He started sounding nice. It's like I remember that era. Like, I was like, okay, Lil Wayne, whatever. But then, like, when did he really started getting nice? What was that? Like, because when did a Millie come out? Was that like, I forget. When did a Millie come out? You there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Don't ask me.
Okay. Well, probably was around the same time when you were like uh signed, or when you started
I
getting
wasn't
signed,
paying
right?
attention to none of these niggas.
No, I could imagine. And you got every right. You
I
got every
didn't start
right.
listening
So
to Young Money until Drake started picking up because I knew people that were working with him.
okay.
I also knew
But
people that
yeah,
were
yeah.
ghostwriting for him.
Somebody said the Carter. Yeah, the Carter. Yeah, to me, Lil Wayne was boo boo up until a certain point. I'm like, oh, okay, he gotta have ghostwriters, do got AI or something. I don't know. Back then I knew, I was like, because I mean, let's keep it a bean and let's get into the Jay-Z situation where
That's funny that you said that. An alert just came through. Apparently, everybody's talking about this shit.
I know that's why I want to talk about it. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What the alert
The
say?
case. I
Huh?
don't know. I just saw what the alert was. I didn't see no information. I just saw the alert. The case is taking a big turn or something.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know why people want to call me while I'm doing live.
Cuz you doing a live?
Well, look, stupid. Yeah, the Jay-Z situation went like, you know, Jay-Z was never, and Jay-Z was like a manufactured situation too. Like, he paid
Absolutely.
for his spot. He paid for his spot. He wasn't someone that was genuinely like, oh, okay, this dude is nice, like a DMX, right? Um, because DMX had it like when Pac and Biggie were gone, DMX came in and he
Yeah.
had the rap game in the chokehold,
He
man.
ran. He
And I know
ran heavy.
it, and he was so Jay Z never, like, I don't know why people are putting Jay on this pedestal like he's the GOAT, because he never
Because
really was, or why I don't
that's
even know
what
why he
they
calls himself what he calls himself.
be that's be you got to understand why. They're doing that because that's what they were told to do.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
And then there's all of the glazing and all of the people just running around. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. It's him. Like, oh my God, Amir. Amir was one of the biggest. Oh my God, he was just. Oh, he couldn't stop talking about it. Him and D'Angelo.
Hmm. Couldn't keep his meat out his mouth, huh?
Just, but he was the one running around. Oh man, you have no idea, man. He's the smartest guy. He's this, he's the that, he's the this, he's the that. And it's just like it's the same stuff that they were doing with Epstein.
Hmm.
They always had their people that were running around selling
Yeah.
their legend.
Right. Yeah. Now, Jay Z was never that dude, y'all. Like, if you from the era, so I'll keep it a buck. Like all those albums that I talked about, I did get the Dead President single, and I kind of think, I guess I got it because of where somebody
I
must have
had
recommended it.
reasonable doubt. I loved reasonable doubt. I supported it. I did the whole 9 yards because it was from my era. It was from my area. It was, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I think that's why I speak as hard as I speak against things now because I know what it's like to get caught up in groupthink.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
groupthink. What you looking
Okay,
at?
there we go. I'm actually trying to pull up something. I guess I got
Ah,
so many seconds to pull it up for all these. I'm trying to get the articles that's going on. Not even articles. It's mainly okay. Give me one second. It's mainly because it's not in the mainstream media. Right now there's been like a whole straight block out of real news in the United States. Like we're not getting a whole lot of real good news, right? Yeah, they're not. Well, it's mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can find because and then there's only so many people, content creator wise, that got enough balls to talk about
to talk
things
the
that are going
real.
on with. Yeah. There's only so many. Yeah, like there's so many people that are they like they're really right now. They're doing a witch hunt for uh, people who are paid to um, go against certain individuals, online, talk about certain stories, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing this on purpose. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, okay, well, at least all hip hop is kind of talking about it. We'll see. Um, okay, and this is one too. Okay, at the Rock Supremacy. I'm on X right now looking. Jay Z is suing Busby. Jay said he lost 190 million due to the frivolous lawsuit, and Busby has been violating, abusing the law from the very beginning. Busby demanded money from Hov 5 weeks before meeting the Jane Doe. So they're of
Yeah,
course
he
they're
gave him a
talking about.
chance. He gave him a chance to settle the case before it went public, like most lawyers do.
So what they're doing is they're trying to counter the stuff that's going on with his team, his legal team, which is Quinn Emanuel, right?
Mm-hmm.
That law firm. They got hit with sanctions, $3 million.
Yeah.
And when you get hit with sanctions, that means you did something, you know, foul. You're in violation, like clear violation. So I guess this is the whole thing. So Jay Z, the team now with all hip hop because they're gonna, all hip hop is gonna be in the good graces. They want to be in the good graces of Jay Z. So Jay Z claims that Tony Busby fabricated a death threat to cover up his illegal practice in federal court. and he's trying to get $190 million from him. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is a whole lot. And then I see somebody talking about Ramir's case. Shout out to Ramir. Um, but yeah, like, look, yeah, the game is rigged. Okay, at least somebody. This is the come with facts. They're talking about Jay Z versus Busby. The, they filed a motion to amend so that they can file a third complaint. And so they did this a few days ago, and I guess this is the third complaint where they're saying all this about Jay, and they have it in the legal documents here. Jay Z with the two dots over the Y. Like, come on, get out of here. Um,
Grammatically, that don't even make sense.
yeah, man. Yeah. Look, main thing I'm trying to say though is like, uh, game is rigged. The game is rigged. It's only certain people are going to get certain attention. Only certain, uh, like certain people are not going to get bad press. At least from what I'm looking at. Like and it's not even about bad press. Even just being they're
They're
not
gonna get a
people are
good
not being
edit.
truthful. Yeah, but they're not being truthful. Just like you dropped the GoFundMe and you had a media organization. They shouldn't have been biased, but they were real biased against you just asking for legal help. And rightfully so, because when you're not attached to the system, when you're not attached to everything that's going on with they have these lawyers and the backroom deals get made and people, like if you're not attached to that, you got to have the right people, you got to have money to get the right people. So there's no reason for them to look at
Play ahead.
what you put out there and basically, yeah, basically we're just on some like, oh, okay, yeah, the internet needs a good laugh. Okay. No, they should have been like, well, we need to interview her and ask her what's up with that. But no, the media here ain't about that. The media here is not really about getting down to the truth.
Yeah, well, good luck.
And then speaking of the truth, I guess I can get
Mm.
into the whole situation with Glasses Malone. I didn't even know Glasses Malone had a podcast, so I subscribed. So shout out to Glasses. Glasses is a cool dude. Ran into him a couple of times, and he seemed like somebody who's solid, but I definitely see bias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying as far as the shocking filings, fresh allegations. I could have talked about that before, but I don't want to give too much light to that. We'll look at that later. It's definitely interesting. I think it's tied to what I had already talked about with the whole um, complaint, them filing the complaint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, though, look, Glasses Malone. Now he was signed to Cash Money. He's from Watts. He's from out here in Watts, and he got the No Ceilings podcast. And yeah, I guess he's been doing it for a minute. Now he had Snoop call up. I'm not gonna play it all. I'm gonna play some of it, but he had Snoop call up. Now, if everyone who is not aware, Snoop has been accused of some stuff as far as dealing with
Mm-hmm.
royalties, dealing with publishing, things like that, not paying out people. Um, Daz is Snoop's cousin, and shout out to Cocaine. I met Cocaine. It's cool people. And when I say Cocaine, I'm talking about get it right. It's Kokane. Coke. Coke is cool, and he's a good dude. He was the one teaching me about how he what he does with his music, and he goes straight to consumer, straight up. Like he ain't playing. I got one of his albums. It was like $13 straight from his website. Boom, get it, and that's what he do. He'll give you all his music for like. a certain amount of money, and then you could just buy a little album. But he got so much music. So shout out to Cocaine, and that, like I said, good dude. And he had some issues with Snoop as far as dealing with money. So apparently, Snoop was like, "What's up with all this? Why y'all going to the internet? Why y'all ain't coming to me?" And that is a good question. Like if they know Snoop, they say, and I heard Dog is approachable. He's not that approachable though, because when I didn't even look. This is my only encounter I had with Snoop. It ain't even really an encounter. I had an encounter with his bodyguards. It was Nip Hussle and Rick Ross performing with God, yeah, it was Rick Ross. He was the main person, but Nip was backstage and he hit the stage. My boy was performing. This was back like years ago, and Busta Rhymes even came. That's when I told you I was speaking with A Marie
Hmm.
in her, yeah. So I was headed in the direction of where Snoop's green room was, and his bodyguards must have. I was like, man, go yo, dude, calm the down. So I don't know about the whole thing about Snoop being approachable like that, but I get it. And, I wasn't no threat or nothing. I wasn't finna go get that dog or try to do something to him anyway. But yeah, Snoop basically is saying like, man, I'm approachable. You don't have to go to the internet to address an issue that you got with me. You could literally just hit me up. Wop, wop, whoop, whoop. That's what he's saying about the Daz situation. Daz is claiming to have basically he's claiming that he got effed out of some money, some royalties, etc. Daz produced for Snoop. Daz produced for Tupac. Daz is a dope producer, right? Uh,
Right.
and he just has his grievance. And you're right. If Snoop is his cousin, you really shouldn't have to go on the internet and say, "Yo, cuz, whoop, whoop, whoop." You just call your cousin, text him, or whatever. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, that's I mean, that would be great, but maybe your cousin don't answer your phone calls.
Well, that part too. That part too. Look, let me get into it though. Let me get into this whole situation because God, why why they got a gang banging app? Do you gang bang? I'll be outside with my gang gang. They is literally got this. I'm looking at they're doing an advertisement for some. This is wild. It's okay. On state role playing for like so. Dude's a mechanic. Anyway, I don't want to get into it, but it literally is a. It looks like a video game. If you want to be like a gangster,
Jesus.
okay.
Inside up, man. Let me out that glass. What's up? What's going on, man? What up, bro? This Snoop Dogg. I said, what's up? What's the deal? Yeah, so I'm playing with you.
Y'all hear it?
I can't call it. What's the deal, dog?
Hmm.
I'm slow motion. I'm coming through YouTube, but I see some shit on there like, what's going on? Like, I mean, what y'all doing? I'm hoping these niggas stop taking their bullshit to the internet and start addressing niggas, their family members, all the real shit. Right. Okay. Every motherfucking week, cuz just not addressing shit, playing with the internet instead of going to talk to their people like real players. Well, you know what, man, glad that my door stay open because I ain't going nowhere. I already know. If you can get in, that means you know what I'm saying. If you can get in, they can get in. And that's what I've been saying, cuz homie, like this the thing, cuz you don't own no records to pay no nigga no royalty stuff for these records. So why is that a lie? This your cousin, cuz. Why would a nigga not come talk to you, cuz? Why do I always feel like I'm pressing niggas to be real with each other? Like, cuz, go talk to your cousin. Like, when cuz said it, hey, cuz, talk to your cousin, cuz, that's like your family. Hey, cocaine, cuz, that's, y'all know each other, cuz, why don't they can't convince me otherwise, and that's why I be so mad, cuz I be like, cuz, it's like, y'all just be making us look crazy in front of these people. Well, no, they look crazy, not us. We still doing what we gotta do. You see me bopping and popping. I'm in pre-production on my biopic right now. I'm on other shit like I can't pay attention to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I done what I done. I helped niggas out. I gave niggas opportunity. If you didn't handle your business, you didn't handle your business. My thing is everybody that's been with me has been taken care of before. And one thing about Snoop, I I pay niggas in advance. Now, if it makes it back on the royalty side, that's on your publisher. If I don't own the record, then it ain't my responsibility to account to you. But if
Yeah,
I do
fair
own the
use.
record, like Lil
Thanks,
Cub,
Cat.
he done been paid, but he ain't saying nothing.
Also, he's basically saying that Daz got paid, but he ain't saying nothing. Um, yeah, this is called the lunch hour. Glasses Malone, uh, and he had Snoop call up, and yeah, Snoop never addressed any of this. Like Snoop never really spoke on this or nothing like that. And I got love for Snoop, and I get it. Like some people do go to the internet on some like, yeah, 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 and it's like do you really address it? But listen, because Snoop is going to say something very important after this too.
A couple of times. See what I'm saying? So they want to blast the I hate them, but what about when you did? And you just got one? But it's easy. Because I handle my business. Because it's easy to take me to court. But I'm saying it's easy to come talk to you.
That's real talk. He said it's easy to take him to court, and that is, I get it. That I see that part I can agree. I'm not going to delick no grown ass man. I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but I'm saying you got to call shit out. And Snoop said a right thing, like, hey, it's easy to take him to court because that's honestly go there instead of going to the internet. What do you think of that?
There's a couple of ways of looking at that. There's a lot of people in LA that got people at them courthouses on the take.
There you go. True.
And you could go to court, spend a lot of money, pay an attorney, do all of that stuff, and get screwed over.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Now it's in court. It's on court record. And now nobody's going to argue with it. And now that person gets to say, hey, he took me to court and he lost.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay.
So it it cuts both ways. It really does. It cuts both ways. Like I'm thinking about this media tour that Rose, the fake Rick Ross, has been on.
Yeah.
And he's had a lot of stuff to say. And he's been crying about Drake. He's been crying about
Mm-hmm.
everybody, for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
He ran at
Yeah.
Biggs from Rockefeller
Yeah.
Records. Apparently, he got that
Yeah.
phone call and told him, you better stand down. So then he came back and backtracked. Then he's sitting down with PBD and and he just starts going in on the real Rick Ross on Freeway Ricky. And, you know, like even the way he was talking about Daphne Joy's son. Now, I've had some very, very, very real things to say about some of these people myself, and it ain't always the kindest. But what
Mm-hmm.
did that little boy do to you for you to have to feel the need to call the boy Bruce Leroy?
Yeah, that was real mean, man. That was real mean
And then say, well,
to talk
his
about 50
mother was
son like
busy.
that.
She came down to Star Island and I had to take him fishing, because he was just sitting there while his mother was busy. And we already know what his mother was busy doing because his mother was busy with Diddy. So
Yeah.
we know about what was going on because her goofy ass testified at the trial and we heard all about what she was doing with Diddy, right? So basically he's sitting there telling 50 Cent, yeah, I had to look out for you, son, because your baby mom was busy getting peed on and all other kind of stuff and getting ran through by a train of people. And I was the one that had to be there
That's
and take
bad.
your son fishing.
That's bad, man. That's bad.
You know, I was gonna buy him a puppy. Cause
That's
apparently
messed up.
he ain't got no parent that care about him. The boy just wandering around Star Island.
That is messed up.
What's even funnier is Rick Ross doesn't live on Star Island. So what the hell were you doing there?
That's a good question.
I guess you was there hanging out with the diddler. You knew what was going on. Like it's the way people talk and run their mouth, but calling that boy Bruce Leroy, he said, yeah,
That's just wrong.
they have Chinese looking one.
That's wrong, man. That's wrong.
But you decide to make babies with full on sex workers. I mean, hey, you're kind of making you and your kid. Like he was laughing about it himself, talking about, I was telling my son, he's gonna have to learn how to develop some tough skin because his mom, but you chose his mother. Like I don't understand any of these people, honestly. I really don't.
Neither do I. I mean, yeah, man. That's
All
just
these
pretty.
people
That
are
that was
dumb.
mean. But Drake, but Rick Ross going on like, yeah, literally going on a whole tour, and
A
all he's
big
doing is talking
fest.
about Drake
A big
because
fest.
Drake said, "I've been Aiden Ross since before Aiden Ross," or something like. And I mean, and I know they had their little beef and they this he called him white boy and all that or whatever, but
See,
yeah,
this is the thing. When he said that 50 got taken care of by Dre and Eminem, and he made it all on his own, you're a liar.
that's a lie.
You got ushered in by the diddler. That's why you got caught
Yeah,
kissing the man in the
I
mouth.
I remember when
It's
Diddy was
oh
like lusting after him, licking his lips. Remember that?
yeah.
Straight licking his lips. Like,
All y'all niggas is weird. He act like a woman though. Talking about the way people dress and you can't. I tell him all the time he can't dress. What? So did he took you shopping too?
apparently,
Is that how you got your wardrobe right? Like
yeah. But I mean, all that though, like back to the whole situation with Snoop and all that
and
too,
Daz, yeah.
and Daz, like, yeah, you got a point because, well, I'll say it like this: they say justice is blind, but that's bullshit, right? And it's really about, like you say, your connections. Like that's
No,
real.
justice
It's
is
really about
blind.
connections.
Justice is blind. Justice got a blindfold on, gagged and bound,
Mm,
and
mm.
hog tied on the back of a boat.
Yeah, man. Like, so it's like if the person did file a complaint in court, Snoop got them people. Snoop got like high power attorneys, and yeah, you're right. Like he could turn around and say, yeah, and you're right. It's family. Like so that was the other side, the flip side to what Snoop said. Take me to court. It's really like, well, why even have to do all that? If y'all
That
family,
part.
if this is your cousin, you shouldn't have to do all that. And I get it, but I, like I said, I'm not all in a business either. I don't know the intricate details, but it definitely was interesting that he would say, take him to court. But it's like, okay, yeah, for a regular person, yeah, take Snoop to court. But for your cousin, it shouldn't even have to go there. It should just
How
be
about
okay.
this? How many other times have you heard about Daz coming forward and saying anything like this about anybody else?
Well, Daz has said he said he's gonna get at Jay-Z now because for those who don't know, Jay-Z wrote Still DRE. And when he says, "If you ain't up on things," Dr. Dre is the name. I'm ahead of my game. So Jay-Z wrote that for Dre. But if you ain't up on things, is he lifted that from the Serial Iller song, but on Dre's, was that Dre album or Snoop's album? I think it was Snoop album.
Whatever the
And that's
case
what
may
that's
be,
what Daz said.
whatever the
Yeah.
case may be, I've never heard anything about Daz running around using blogs and stuff like that to settle his stuff. Like I've never
No,
really
no, no.
heard about
You
that.
haven't. He just came out, and I guess he's just frustrated. And I get it. I get it. But I would say, see, so what it is it's really just about the optics. I think Snoop is like, you out here looking a certain way. You're saying my name. You got me looking a certain way. I'm gonna respond, and this is what I'm gonna say. Blah blah blah. Woo woo. Daz uh, has a grievance, and Daz just feels he maybe didn't get done right. And Snoop is saying, well, you got that's what you got to handle your business. And I've heard that before. That's part. Look, let me give y'all some game. It's
When
part of
you
the reason
start
why I
hearing
don't
people
even really
talking about
deal.
handle your business, 9 times out of 10, they done screwed over whoever the hell they talking about.
Exactly. Exactly. Because I literally had to I did one production for I ain't gonna say who, and like it'll turn you against number one in the industry because I'm a creative. I don't really care about the business, but I got an understanding of the business and I get it. But I'm like, nah, I don't even like. I'm cool. But if I create something, I'm not. It ain't supposed to just get taken advantage of. Like give me my just due. And I did that one time with one, some, anyway, and that made me just say, yeah, I'm doing things differently. Um, when you come up with something, because even what I came up with, you figure, I sample too, right, Jack? You know that, but I didn't even sample with this. I came just straight whoop 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 with the wop wop, and it sounded, oh, even RZA loved it, right? And then guess what? If your folks that you're dealing with, oh, well, you supposed to handle it. No, fool, you supposed to. Okay, I got you. And I guess that's why I feel where you come from too, Jag, when it comes to not feeding this industry. That whole well, you ain't handle your business. That's a cop out to be honest.
Well, it's like
Because
this. Can you say, oh, you need to handle your business, you need to handle your business, that's perfectly fine. But what you're also saying is because you didn't handle your business, I have the right to take advantage of you.
right,
And that's not cool. Like that shouldn't be on the table at any point or at any time. It shouldn't be, oh well, if you didn't do this and I caught you slipping, that's on you. Like that should never be on the table.
no, exactly.
Like just because somebody I caught somebody slipping doesn't mean that I gotta take advantage of them. And see, that's the problem in the industry. A lot of people have turned that into a business practice. More importantly than that, a lot of times people are misinforming people on purpose so that they can catch them slipping, just so that they can take
Yeah,
advantage of them. And then you later
yeah,
find out, what? Hold on, wait a
yep,
minute. What?
yep. That's why I'll
I
give
know
I'll
people
give
that I
props
know
to.
people that were in the studio handling their business, and then people went when they left. They sit down and do the paperwork and go with the splits and to do all of this, and then the next thing you know,
Hmm.
soon as they get out the door, the people go back, take all of the information, change the paperwork, and steal the publishing. So that person did handle their business. They sat down and they did that. What else was they supposed to do? You still
And they still
stole.
got work. You still worked them.
The only thing that they could have done was sit there and stay up underneath you until everything was issued. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
fuck are you
Right.
talking about?
Yeah, man. Like that's one thing I know when
Record
um
industry people are shady.
Shady rule number 4080. Yeah. the best advice I got though from someone in the industry is just, you can discuss the business first, or because when you get creative, when it comes to the creativity side of the game, um, you can get caught up. Like, I mean, it's simple. If you produce something, it's 50-50. The producer get 50%, the writers get 50%. So if I'm with my boy, or, oh yeah, I did the drums, so okay, that'll be 30 something percent for me. And then like, you get all you should at least have that understanding first before you even, and that be the complicated thing with the business. Imagine if it was just, hey, let's just get creative. Like, you ain't even really got to discuss the business. It just gets dealt with, or if it's just like a righteous thing. Like, okay, y'all gonna be righteous with your business, cool. But when you have to, negotiate that, like, people, I did the drums, so the drums is the main stuff. No, fool. So it depends on, and even when it comes to writing, like, oh, the hook is 50% because you say the hook 3 times. No, yeah, like, it's a whole, like, man, it gets real complicated, and that messes up creativity. Like, I just value straight creativity, to be honest, and that's dope. Being able to say, okay, we're gonna get this, we're gonna do this. Everybody get down, whoop, whoop, cool. But then, the business end of it, y'all know what it is.
People who haggle over small percentages of records, or have a problem with just splitting things even, especially if you're both sourcing energy off of each other and doing stuff like that. Like, I don't work with people like that. I don't
Yeah,
work with people like
I
that.
mean,
You want to sit there and you want to argue about this and you want to argue about that, like, it's perfectly fine. Okay, because if we're gonna sit here and haggle about this, I might as well just go off and do it myself and have 100%. I don't
there
need
you
you.
go.
I don't need you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can do it on my own. I don't need you. Like, and I've seen a lot of people do that. I've seen a lot of people negotiate their way out of what could have been a great working situation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's the greed of the industry, and it's, I don't know, it's just, it's crazy because music is such a beautiful and a freely giving thing, and you get the business in it, and people just turn into just, oof.
Yeah. It can get nasty. It can get real nasty. But
Look at
that's
Michael
part of the reason
Jackson.
why.
Look at Michael Jackson. Look at the way they went in on him because of
Hmm.
his music acquisitions and the things that he bought. From the second that he bought that catalog and he owned all of those white records, that was it. They were
Did you hear
they were
about? Did you hear about this? Michael Jackson in '93, he had enough money. He put a bid in for Marvel. Did you hear about that? I heard a story about him
Mhm.
actually trying to get the whole thing going with Marvel. Which, think about that, Marvel, Michael Jackson. 'Cause Marvel was like on the down slope at the time in
Yeah.
the early '90s. I remember that.
Yeah.
If he would have bought it though, oh man, Mike, oh man, that would have been like, so
There was
that's,
no way
and
they
what happened.
wanted him with his kind heart. There was no way they wanted him having control of this industry. They did whatever
Some
they needed
aspect.
to do.
He couldn't have an aspect or nothing. So, but what happened in '93 too? What happened in '93?
What happened in '93 other than me giving birth to
That's when
my
all those cases.
firstborn son?
That's when all those cases came out. That's when all the
Exactly.
little SA
That's when they
cases came
started
out.
trying to turn him into a.
Yep, a PDF. And I literally just went on. Let me see if I have it. Well, never mind. I literally just put it on my wall because Michael Jackson. They're doing the uh, documentary on Netflix, and I know you just spoke to. You did
Yeah,
interviews about that.
it's
Yeah,
disgusting.
yeah. They I said, someone
They're
said,
so pissed off.
if,
They're so pissed off about this movie.
well, listen, someone said if Mike Jackson was the PDF that Hollywood claimed him to be, then
He'd have been in jail.
they would have protected him instead of persecuted him. And I said, "Ooh, that's real.
That's a good
If he
point.
was the PDFer, they would. You're right. They would have persecuted him. It wouldn't have been no. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they would have protected him, not persecuted him. Back then, yeah.
They needed the public to lose faith in him so that nobody would oppose them, destroying him publicly with lies,
Hmm.
innuendo. Like, I don't think people really understand. Like, I'll never forget the first time I started, like, it's gotta be true. There's no way in the world they could be hitting him like this with all of this stuff if it's not true.
You were saying that.
Yeah. I'm like,
Mm,
how do they, it can't be possible. I wasn't ready at that time to admit in my mind and believe that if people want you destroyed, if there's enough money and enough power, they'll have you destroyed. Like, you got to understand, it wasn't until I was about 30 years old that I was finally willing to accept what this shit was all about.
mm,
So I was already heavily entrenched and invested. They keep you on a spiral, they keep you on a loop, they keep you running. Like, you spend so much time running for your goal, getting ran around this way, getting ran around that way. Them telling you you have to do this, them telling you you have to do that. Like, there's, and then you're sitting there and you're looking and you know you're being gaslit. You know this is happening. And then you start accepting that this is happening. And then it's, well, this is
mm,
the way it has to happen. And then you talk to other people who've been here longer than you and before you, and they're telling you this is the way it works. And then you sit
mm,
there and just ignore it. Don't get involved in things that don't have anything to do with you. The less you know, the better. Da 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 da. Yada yada yada. Like, it's a it's a whole G rooming thing. Like, it's,
mm,
by the time
mm,
I realized what was actually going on. Yeah. You don't want to believe it. I think the hardest part for me was really realizing how many people I helped the system screw over
mm,
because I either was cooperating for favor or capitulating because of the power. Like, those are your two options in the game. And if you know a lot, and if you stood next to the power, then you know that they're willing to get rid of you because of what you know.
yep.
And then you got to ask yourself, are you ready to say goodbye to your children? Or are you ready to give it all up? Are you ready to? Because there is no hiding. Then it's all well, just try to help in other ways. Do it quietly. Do it differently. You can do this. You can do that, and then you realize there's more people. You try to back away quietly, move out slowly.
Do you realize it ain't that easy? It's way more complicated.
No, because at the end of the day, what they want is not for you to leave. They want you to stay. They want you to stay. It's easier for you to stay. They don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to flip and start telling the truth. They don't have to worry about. They can keep an eye on you. They can keep somebody there that'll keep your mouth shut. They get you a husband. They get you a boyfriend. They they
Mm,
find out what project it is that you're most passionate about and dangle
yeah,
the possibility of it
dangle
happening
it.
and,
Hmm.
and keep you on that hamster wheel, keep you going, keep you locked, keep you like it is. Oh my God. It's, next thing you know, you turn around and look, and your so-called best friends were never really your friends. So you turn
Yeah.
around like it's people don't get how involved and invested this whole thing is. They don't. And there's some people, it's not even a matter of the fact that they don't get it. They don't want to know. They want to just stay on the hamster wheel and run for their life and get
Hmm.
that house, that beach house, and have that car and marry that person and just that's why a lot of people just get lost in the things. They just get lost in the things. Stay invested in their things.
Hmm.
If you stay invested in the things, then the things keep you happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
why for a person that
and
doesn't want those things, they don't know what to do with you.
well, when you're truly a spiritual individual, material things don't don't do nothing for you. We're in a material, like when Donna say we're in the material world. Material is material, but us who you got to vibrate on this plane. It's a material plane. You know what it is, but you ultimately know spiritually, the spiritual fulfillment is really what it's all about. You do got a lot of people who, yeah, they can because they can be controlled by things. They can be controlled by money and access and this and. Let me be honest, that ain't nothing. It ain't nothing, and it'll always be nothing to some people in this world. It is everything to them, and let them have that. But that's why I said, you know, the even when it comes to the creation side, it's a spiritual thing where it's like, oh, that's just dope to be able to create and come together and come with something really really dope and just out of nowhere you create something. And then when you start dealing with the business, that's when you start dealing with the material side, the money, and that's when it starts to get whack. So like you said about this industry, you're just coming with your intention of really putting on for the world, whatever it is that you do best that God gave you. Because you mentioned that before about the God given talent. And it's your responsibility to, disseminate it to the world responsibly. But this industry will have you all twisted up and, have you all, it's about money, it's about this. So yeah, the material when you break it down is nothing. Material stuff is nothing because when you got to get up out of here, you can't take any of that stuff. You got all these people that getting trying to get all this money, trying to get all this. You get as much money as you want. You can't take that stuff with you at
It's
all.
not even about taking it with you. It's about what it can do to you. I've seen people turn themselves inside out over material things and then ended up losing it all in the end and then watch them take their life.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Shakur Stewart, I mean Shakir Stewart.
Mm-hmm. Shakir Stewart, yeah.
Hmm. It's people really don't get it. But I think they're starting to understand, and I hope that to a certain extent the work that we do helps them understand.
That's what it's about. It's really just about getting people to really understand what's really going on. Just got a lot of people that are lost. Like and circle back to the kids. Like I said, I'm with my nephews, them little YNs, and they get it. They me being around them, I just know how to. Older you get older, you start to learn how to disseminate in the information, and you got to because you can have you could be like it's funny. Like I can remember my dad uh popped up on the homies on some y'all just know y'all ain't supposed to be doing it. Like what I'm saying? And it's like that's how I used to be in the hood. Like somebody's dad will pop up on you like or mom or grandma, right? What y'all doing over here? Y'all ain't supposed to be, it'll be like that. So when you're giving out the information, just I mean, of course, right? When it's the old adage when the student is ready, the masters will appear. When when you're ready for the information, you'll get it. And if you're a master, you should know how to disseminate the information. If you're talking to a 5-year-old, you know how to talk to a 5-year-old. You're not going to talk to a 5-year like you talk to a 15-year-old. So yeah, the people gotta the us in charge, and that's what I was about to say too, because I'm about to get out of just talking solely about this hip hop, whatever. The culture is the culture, it's cool, whatever. But I guess I will start getting a little bit more into other
The
topics.
culture
I'll
is
say
becoming a
geopolitical.
distraction. The culture is
Yeah, it
becoming
is.
a
It's becoming too
distraction.
much of a distraction. It's becoming too much of a distraction. Like I much rather, and I've been studying with under Siddiqui about the AI stuff. I might start getting a little bit more into that and a little bit into the geopolitical stuff and a lot of other things. Because I think I thrive in that area. Like I'll get into that because yeah, the hip hop stuff is too much of a damn distraction. I'll still be set in the West, but I'm just gonna be getting into some other stuff because it's kind of I'll say I ain't gonna say it's played out, but it is kind of played out, man. Like even talking about it, this
What's
subject I'm
played
talking about
out?
now, just all the hip hop stuff, it's all played out. Like it's fucking played out. Let's keep it a buck.
Well,
It's played out.
hip hop isn't played out. Rap
No, hip hop isn't played
is
out. There,
played
there we
out.
go. The rap side of it is played out. Yeah, the rap
And
shit, the rap, all that,
unfortunately,
it's played out.
the rap side has replaced, like, the simple fact that they talk about the culture. They talk about the culture. They talk about the culture. So the culture is all this sex stuff. The culture is all of this
No, it's
depravity.
not.
The culture
Mm-mm.
is all of the clothes and the cars, and that's the culture. That's not a culture.
That's not the culture. No,
It's not. It's not. Not at all. It's a cult of personality, but it's not the culture. It's weird. But when I think about that meeting that they were talking about,
hmm
that shit was so successful. It was so successful. They weaponized our culture against us, and then they turned it into a straight to prison or straight to hell methodology that has now worked for three going on 4 decades straight. And
Yeah,
people are running to be a part of it.
it's like it's like a I don't know if you ever see them the big rat traps where they'll put some grain and along a path, and the rats will come out, and then they'll put it up a ramp, and then the ramp leads to like almost like a trap door type of situation where they got it's a piece of cardboard like this, and then when the rats get on the cardboard, it'll drop in, and then boom, you into this big old gallon of
The rat
bucket,
trap.
right? The rat trap, and then
No, I said the
at the
rat,
end
the rap with
the
a
wrap.
P.
There you go, wrap trap. Yeah, wrap trap. That's what they do. They get you. They'll they like you say about how they put these trinkets in front of you. The projects they sprinkle all that out there, and then they put it right there on that little uh, piece of cardboard that's going to flip. It could flip this way or this way because you got rats coming from the other side too, and boom, they all fall in. The big rats fall in, and then at the end, the farmer. This is what farmers do. Farmers will take that and just fill it up with water. Let them suckers drown. Um, yeah, that's what they've turned hip hop culture into.
Hip hop was just about having fun, dancing, meeting people,
Mm-hmm.
sharing ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I think back to when I was a kid, it was all about my notebooks. It was all about my backpack. It was all about the work, the music. Not because I was about to get paid,
Because
but
you
to be
enjoyed
king.
it. It was fun.
No, but to be king or queen of the moment.
That too.
It was, man.
Well, imagine if they would have never touched the culture like how they did. So don't get it twisted. We got 9 elements, not just five, right? So each element, because I've been through the chambers or whatever, right? I've always been entrepreneur. That's an element of hip hop. We have our own version of entrepreneurism. We have our own version of like language. We have our own version of of what else? It's a lot, right? If you leave if they leave, just leave it alone. Inner city kids, what don't interfere. Don't insert no DURGs into the situation. Just let them be creative, let them be expansive, let them be innovative, just let them be. Then you will have like that's why they got the divine nine. You have 9 houses of creativity. You peep that? So you could imagine where it's like, okay, we got the B-boy house or the dance house. We got the MCing house. We got the knowledge house. We got the graffiti house. We got the entrepreneur house. We got the business. Not like I'm just keeping it a buck. That's what it would have turned into. Like if they would have just left it alone. You know what I'm saying? And we could still do it because
And
it's
then you
just
would have
really
had
just
a gang
about.
of Michael Jacksons making all of the money and potentially turning these so-called colonizers into slaves themselves or being forced to be true equals.
Mm-hmm.
Stop them from doing what they're doing when they're doing it. Like they wasn't going
Mm-hmm.
for that.
I know.
They had to rig
They
it.
they
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 had to
they
rig
they
it. And guess what?
yeah,
They used people like Sean Carter and Sean Combs to help
exactly.
rig it.
The biggest look. Really, when if Biggie and Pac were alive today, I guarantee you a particular element of what I'm talking about would be the reality right now because Biggie was Jamaican real hip hop dude, dope as shit. this the voice, the lyrics, all that, right? And Pac being from a revolutionary background, they would have guided the culture into where like Pac was going to politicize all gang members. He was going to
Yeah,
turn like it was about to be we wouldn't have had a Barack Obama. We would have had President Tupac. Like I bullshit you not. That's what would have happened.
I think Pac would have
And
ran. I do. I think he would have ran, and I think he would have
oh no,
won.
and he would have got it. You stop. Really? Yeah, he would have got it because he would have been around that age to where he could. You got to be 35. Yeah, he would have won. They already be seeing who's who, and they come with the snipers. Boom. But I'm just saying on the culture level, we would have had we'd be in a way better situation. We'd be in a way better situation. And like I said, it's the reason why they got the Divine Nine. We would have nine houses in hip hop on some. Okay, this is where you go. Boom. Like if you choose to go, because hip hop is still a culture. You're right. And that's what would have
Hip hop.
would have happened. You know what I'm saying? But it still can happen. I just think we gotta get moving. It still can happen, even though it's a whole lot of bleak stuff going on right now. Our generation still holds the codex to break down a lot of this bullshit matrix that's running right now.
I'm gonna
We
tell
still
you
have the
what's really
codex.
messed up. The simple fact that they're running all of this crap about this lawsuit, and nobody's talking about the fact that they tried to make another play on Tory Lane's life again.
Mm-hmm.
They're not talking about that,
Mm-mm.
which is wild because it was a year ago when they tried it last time,
Mm-hmm.
and he ended up in the hospital. And what was Tory trying to do? He was trying to show the YNs how to get that bread so that they didn't have to rely on the contract to do exactly what it is you're talking about right now.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. That's why I say it's still gonna happen. They can only hold it back for so long. It's still gonna happen. I don't
He
say much,
showed him.
y'all, but
Tory showed him.
he
He showed
showed
him how to get
he
it.
showed
He
them,
showed him how to get it.
and where he messed up though was just not being protected, and that's why I talk about just
He didn't
having the right team
realize
of
how hard they were willing to go for it.
he should have
He didn't.
he should have
If he realized that, he would have protected himself better, messing around with Megan and messing around with Kelsey. He would have protected himself better. He
he was
didn't.
better off going with the white girl. I hate to say it. He should have
With the
stayed at Kylie
Kardashian,
Jenner's house. He should have stayed at
he might
Kylie
have
Jenner's house.
with Corey Gamble involved, he might not have made it out alive for real.
Hey, he could have took that chance, and it just he looking at 10 years. He got 10 years, not looking.
For something he
Yeah.
didn't even do. That's the wildest part about it. How many innocent people have been forced to sit in prison for crimes they didn't commit? It's unbelievable, honestly, when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And what are we doing as a society? Just sitting back and letting all of this happen. Y'all pray for Tory. He's got prison guards in there that are still trying to find a way to get him around violent inmates. Hmm.
Yep.
And all he tried to do was teach those kids how to get it. how to really get it.
And that's really what it's about. Influencing the kids. I think, just like I said, they don't need an Epstein, they don't need a Diddy anymore because the
Not anymore.
technology will do it for them. As far as influencers, though, they still need influencers. You're not going to get a total AI person to influence. You can fool some suckers. You think you got a bunch of these OnlyFans, I'm sorry, OF people who do their thing and they put the fake. They got the fake on. They put the fake on, and then they start glitching. Uh, but you being a sucker for even being on that platform like that. But anyway, when it comes to the kids, they really can they like influencers. That's why I even mentioned about earlier having how they have these kids and who they will pick over. Okay, who gonna be the king of this region? We're gonna crown this person because they got the look, they got this. People look up
Look
to
at
them and
Kai
they're easily
Sanat.
influenced.
Look at Kai Sanat.
Yeah, Kai Cenat. Yeah, I was talking to my nephews about just streamers in general, and I guess the newest one is is Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner. He's this big streamer now. Like he took like there's been a whole kind of like there's been not boots. There's been shoes to be filled for certain situations, and that's one of them where
I
Adrian
guess he's
Broner
trying to take over
streams.
for Kai.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's crazy because the only reason that Kai is being replaced is because yeah, well, I guess he gave too much pushback.
Hmm. 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 Um, but yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll get deeper into these convos because I'm definitely gonna pivot and just get more into what I need to get into. What he's, Curdy says, Unc. What are you talking about, Unc? I tell look, if you talking about me as Unc, I'm not Unc. Don't Unc is very. I'm gonna say it. It's a disrespect. Only my nephews can call me Unc. I'll keep it a buck. Uh, I'm an OG. I may not be old as hell, but I'm an OG. That's what it is. I'm an OG. Don't call me Unc. You say OG Wolf. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I'm an OG, and she is not an auntie. So like they really like Unc and auntie and shit is on some just like disrespectful. It's a little disrespectful if you ask me.
Like
That
I
you might
was
as well call me
telling you,
grandpa.
like I was telling you, we live in an era now where this has become normalized because of parasocial relationships.
Yeah, yeah. Just like
Parasocial
Ice T.
relationships have become the new construct for how people relate with people online. Part of the reason why the whole Cardi B simulation is able to work the way it's able to work is because of who she has been
Yeah.
in parasocial space. These people actually feel like when you look at the barbs, like these barb people, they are way too invested. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mary.
Mary A.
They are way too invested and dead ass wrong. Like
Yeah.
I'm sitting there looking at them and they're all excited about Nicki Minaj at SpaceX. Spaceships were really meant to looking high as hell. I'm not saying she was, but
Starships are meant to fly.
she definitely, that was it. Okay, cut. And people are sitting there talking about they're sitting there talking about, oh, look at her. She's with Elon Musk. And if her and Elon Musk ever have a baby, she gonna end out on the street. Like his other baby mom, who running around giving up all the goods and telling everybody all of the, how it works, you can be an influencer and get all of this bread capping for these political interests. So I'm sitting there just listening to them. And you know what? It reminded me of looking at her and thinking about her and how giddy she was acting around Trump and how giddy she's acting around Epstein. Meanwhile, All the barbs are sitting there. Oh my God, Jay-Z's in the Epstein files. Jay-Z's in the Epstein files. But so is Elon Musk.
Yeah, he is.
And
He is.
y'all ain't
Yep.
saying shit about him. Y'all ain't saying their word about him. So
Hmm.
basically, it's subjective.
Well, they pick who they want to pick. I know you're gonna keep going. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna come back because I'm gonna
I'm not
talk
gonna
about
keep
exactly
going.
that.
You doing what you doing, and we'll talk, and we can
You're
talk
still
later if you want to
we're
set
gonna
up
we're gonna.
another.
That's what I was about to say. We're gonna come back not later today. I'm just saying as far as this conversation, I wanted to piggyback. I'll have to write it out and then I'll put it together. But we'll maybe tomorrow I'll do it because I do want to talk about what you just said about the parasocial relationships that these people have and how could you really be influenced by somebody that you really don't know and they
Don't
can
even
really
know.
influence your real life. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Don't
But
even
yeah,
know.
we're gonna just do a deeper dive into that. That's what we're gonna do
You
next
want to
time.
know what I
So
was about to say before you go?
sure, go ahead.
When I was looking at this Onika fool sitting here skinning and grinning, it made me think about Marilyn Monroe.
Hmm. Hmm.
They had Marilyn Monroe around the Kennedys, and they had Marilyn Monroe around the Rat Pack, and Marilyn Monroe, and they had her all over the place. She was locked into some of the most powerful men in the nation, right? And you remember how she ended up. They don't pay attention to history.
Exactly.
They don't pay attention to history and sitting there looking in the happy birthday, Mr. President. Yeah, Jean Harlow too. They think it's a game. Like I told them, you ain't over. I told them about they. She in over her head. Go ahead, keep on thinking it. Keep thinking fat meat ain't greasy. Go, go now, go LeBron, go.
All right,
I'll see
y'all.
you though.
I'm gonna we'll be back for more. All right.
Absolutely.